Good evening and welcome to our April 14th, 2015 Ogden City Council or Special City Council meeting. Let the roll call reflect that all council members are present. And we will turn the time to Vice Chair White for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please rise. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Now please join us for a moment of silence. Thank you. Well, first thing on our agenda today is a recognition for Oliver Marvin Lewis. We've asked Councilmember Gochner if she would read that one for us.
Thank you. It's with great respect that I read this. This is a joint resolution of the Ogden City Council and Mayor recognizing the life and legacy of Oliver Marvin Lewis and his significant contributions to the Ogden community. Whereas Oliver Marvin Lewis was born in Ogden on July 26, 1924, to Alfred and Vera Carter Lewis. He attended Ogden High School and later went on to study medicine at the University of Pennsylvania. He served as a paratrooper in the Pacific Theater during World War II with the 11th Airborne Division of the United States Army and received a Purple Heart with an oak leaf cluster for his heroic efforts. And whereas Marvin married Sharon Rich, his high school sweetheart, in 1949. He and Sharon became the proud parents of 6 children, 22 grandchildren, and 15 great-grandchildren. They each came from families with deep roots in the Ogden community. Marvin's father worked in the railroad industry, and Sharon's grandfather was local gunsmith Matthew Browning. And whereas, much like their predecessors, Marvin and Sharon have been dedicated to the Ogden community. They have provided generous contributions to Ogden High School, Perry's Egyptian Theater, and Union Station, among others. They have also been heavily involved in supporting local education through the Ogden School District and Weber State University. Sharon received an honorary doctorate degree from the university, and a student scholarship is offered in Marvin's name. And whereas Marvin was a key contributor to the local medical community, he operated a private family practice for 38 years and served in various leadership capacities, including Chief of Medicine for 2 terms and President of the Medical Staff at McCady Hospital, President of the Weber County Heart Association, and President of the Utah Heart Association. Marvin enjoyed the intellectual challenges of medicine and the opportunities for service it provided. He was loved by all of his patients and even provided home visits to some of his elderly homebound neighbors. And whereas throughout his life, Marvin worked hard to have a positive impact on everyone around him. His life was an inspiration as he quietly exemplified diligence, selflessness, and kindness. He continually supported local arts, charities, religious efforts, and educational initiatives. Marvin was also an avid pilot. He served on the Hinckley Airport Advisory Committee and as committee chair. And whereas Marvin will be sorely missed by family, friends, patients, professional colleagues, and the entire Ogden community. He was genuine and caring to those around him and was dedicated to making the city better for future generations. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Ogden City Council and Mayor Caldwell hereby recognize Oliver Marvin Lewis for his outstanding contributions to the Ogden community. We are saddened by Marvin's passing and offer our sincere condolences to his family, friends, and other close associates. We are confident that his legacy will continue for many years to come. And with that, I will make a motion that we adopt this joint resolution.
Okay, we have a motion by Councilmember Gochner, seconded by Councilmember Garner, to adopt this resolution. And this is a voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Are any opposed?
And with that, I don't know if Sharon, if you're coming up to accept this, or if you're all coming, or...
We could have you come through and shake the hands. Thank you. Love to hear from you for a minute, too. As is customary, if we could have you kind of come back over again, we'll take one group shot. We'll all kind of crowd behind you.
And if you want your family to join you.
Yes, please have your family come.
Well, yes,
That's great.
okay.
Bring them up.
Those who want to come up, love to have you up.
Yeah, bring them on.
Bring them up.
Don't be shy.
We know that of you, Julie.
Opportunity for almost a family picture here.
Oh, that's...
That works. One, two, three.
All right, we can't see anymore.
And Mrs. Lewis, if you'd like to say anything.
We'd love to hear from you.
Or if you have a representative.
Well, I would like to thank you very much. My husband would be the most surprised of anybody. He was a very quiet, did his good things very quietly, and he could stand me for 65 years. That's pretty good. And we have 6 children, 22 grandchildren, and almost 16 great-grandchildren. And they would all be here, I'm sure, if it hadn't snowed. Thank you very much.
Thank
You're
you for
very
being here.
kind.
Thank you.
We have kind of dissected our agenda a little bit today, so this next item is a consideration to adjourn into the regular redevelopment agency meeting. Do we have a motion for that?
I'll make a motion that we adjourn into the RDA meeting.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Gardner, seconded by Councilmember Blair to move into the regular redevelopment agency meeting. This is a voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. We'll give the recorder a minute to reset.
We don't have to do the Pledge of Allegiance again.
We don't have to do that. But you did it so well. Ready to go? All right, good evening and welcome to our April 14th, 2015 Ogden City Redevelopment Agency meeting. Let the roll call reflect that all board members are present. And the first item on our agenda is approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of February 10th, 2015. Board Member Blair.
Yes, thank you, Chair Heyer. I have reviewed those minutes and found them to be accurate, and I would make a motion that we adopt the minutes from the regular meeting of February 10th, 2015.
Second.
Okay. We have a motion by Board Member Blair, seconded by Board Member Gardner. And this is a roll call vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Next is reports from the administration. First item is the participation and incentive agreement for Rock Exotica LLC. I think that's going to be
Mr. Cooper will be handling both of these items today.
Great. Welcome, Mr. Cooper.
Chair Heyer, members of the board, good evening. Thank you for your time tonight. Does this work? Thank you. So our first item tonight is Resolution 2015-3, which approves a participation and reimbursement agreement with Rock Exotica Incorporated. You may recall in 2013, the Trackline Economic Development Project area was approved. That should look familiar to you. That'll clear up hopefully in a minute. The Trackline Economic Development Project area is in the general vicinity of the old Union Stockyards, and it's a 51-acre master plan community. What you see here in this blurry map is the result of the project area plan, which is a new plat map. This plat map creates 8 lots that are for sale. And with our partner developer, we have been successful in negotiating the sales price for what is called Lot 3 here. So Lot 1, Lot 2, and Lot 3. In addition to this purchase contract, the buyer, Rock Exotica, has also come to the agency requesting certain incentives that would assist the relocation of the facility that they currently operate in Clearfield. They are desiring to build a new facility in the subdivision. There's a colored map that would be resembling what they are proposing. It's a 40,000 square foot building on a 3-acre parcel. And the building would house their manufacturing and distribution facility, along with an interesting element, which is an indoor-outdoor climbing wall, as I understand it, which would be a great amenity not only for them as a company, but I believe they would open that up to the public as well in certain occasions. So it's a great asset to the development and a wonderful opportunity to move forward with selling some of the lots. The terms of the agreement would coincide with the project area plan. The plan is a 20-year plan which ends in 2033, and the request that is in the agreement would allow for the payment of $15,000 a year for 5 years for a total incentive of $75,000. So that initial incentive that initial payment would start in 2018 and go for 5 years thereafter to the maximum of $75,000. And as I mentioned, that is meant for the relocation assistance from coming from a different location. So essentially, those are the terms of the agreement that's before you tonight. The conditions upon payment would to be occupied, so built out and occupied by the end of next year. So they anticipate starting this building in the next month or so and be finished by the end of this year or the first part of next year. So they'll be well within the deadline that we've established. And that would trigger the tax increment that's generated from that new construction. And then that first payment would be due the first tax year that it's realized, which is 2018. And in our pro formas and in our budgets, we've anticipated these types of incentives. And so we always try to match the incentive with the valuation of the asset that's creating it. And in this case, the construction of a 40,000 square foot building on 3 acres is sufficient to generate the requested incentive. So that is the participation in agreement and incentive agreement with Rock Exotica, and we hope that you will find approval. Any questions?
Any questions for Mr. Cooper?
Have they established their contractor to build the facility out there?
I believe so, yeah.
Questions? Okay, thank you.
You.
If there's no further discussion, I'll go ahead and make a motion that we adopt proposed resolution 2015-3.
We have a motion by Board Member Gochner, seconded by Vice Chair White, to adopt Resolution 2015-3. This is a roll call vote.
Board Member Blair.
Aye.
Board Member Garner.
Aye.
Board Member Gochner.
Aye.
Board Member Stevens.
Aye.
Board Member Wicks.
Aye.
Vice Chair White.
Aye.
Chair Heyer.
Aye, that passes. The next item is the participation and incentive agreement for Russo Investments, VW LLC. Mr.
Russo
Cooper, welcome
Investments.
back.
Yes, thank you. So this participation and incentive agreement is similar to those that we've done in the past. In 2011, we established the South Wall Economic Development Area for the purpose of supporting and facilitating additional development along Wall Avenue in the area of 33rd and Wall. That's a area that has quite a few car dealerships, and we wanted to promote the addition and expansion of some car dealerships there. So as we created the project area and as it was approved, it contemplated an incentive to what is now Westland Hyundai. So this is a site plan of Westland's new proposed building. Wall Avenue's here, 33rd is here. It's a 24,000 square foot building. There's a correction, I think, in the packet. It says it's a 2.84 acre site. I believe they've acquired some additional space back here, so it's actually a 3.25 acre site. So it's a larger site, roughly a 25,000 square foot building that fully replaces the building that was there. The agreement that's in the packet is requesting an incentive to cover the costs of demolition and some of the remedial costs for the site work. The request is for 75% of 100% of the tax increment that's generated. That's a little bit different than what might be the norm. So in this case, the bulk of this facility is dedicated to service work, not the retail showroom part that's up front, but the back portion is dedicated to the retail, or to the service side, which generates about 75% of the valuation of the building and of their business. So because of the restrictions of an economic development area, we tied the incentive to the generation of tax increments solely to that service portion. And that's why it's the 75% of 100. The agency receives 100%, and the incentive is to give 75% of that 100% that we receive back over the course of the tax increment period, which ends in 2022. The estimation of that total incentive would be roughly around $200,000, $220,000, based on the valuation, obviously, given by the county. So conditions to receiving the incentive are similar to other incentives. It's post-performance, so the owner in this case would need to complete the building by a certain time and occupy and post the building on the tax rolls and then show evidence of payment of taxes each year in order to receive the incentive. So we're very excited about this. This brings a large and expanded new car dealership down to the Wall Avenue, adding to the others that are there, and is a great boost to our tax base. So it's recommended that Resolution 2015-4 is approved. Any questions?
Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Do we have a motion?
Seems there's no further discussion. I'll make a motion that we adopt Resolution 2015-4.
I second it.
have a motion by Board Member Garner, seconded by Board Member Stevens, to adopt Resolution 2015-4. This is a roll call vote.
Board Member Garner.
Aye.
Board Member Gochner.
Aye.
Board Member Stevens.
Aye.
Board Member Wicks.
Aye.
Board Member Blair.
Aye.
Vice Chair White.
Aye.
Chair Hire.
Aye, that passes. The next item is public comments. This is an opportunity to address the board regarding your concerns or ideas for the Ogden Redevelopment Agency. Please state your name and address clearly for the record and limit your comments to 3 minutes. I see no takers. Comments from the RDA Executive Director
Nothing tonight, thank you.
and board members.
No, just to thank Brandon and his group for securing those, so thank you.
Yeah, I echo that too. Thanks, Brandon. Okay,
So I would make a motion that we adjourn the redevelopment agency meeting and reconvene our special city council meeting.
Second.
a motion by Board Member Wicks, seconded by Board Member Gochner, to adjourn the regular redevelopment agency meeting and convene special city council meeting. This is a voice vote. All in favor? Aye. Okay, that passes. We'll give the recorder a minute again. Ready to go? Well, we are now back to our April 14th, 2015 special city council meeting, reconvened at item 6, which is the approval of minutes of the regular meeting of February 17th, 2015. Councilmember Garner.
Yes, Chair Heyer, I've reviewed those minutes and found them to be correct, and will make a motion that we adopt the minutes as approved.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Garner, seconded by Councilmember Blair to approve the minutes. All in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Next item is a public hearing concerning fiscal year 2014-15 art grants.
That will be Ms. Christy McBride who will be making the presentation.
Welcome. Good to have you with us.
My name is Christy McBride, Special Events and Arts Department of Ogden City. I just had a quick question. We just noticed in listening to the resolutions that were just passed, 2015-3 was mentioned as one of Brandon's last, and that's also listed here under this public hearing for the arts grants.
Yeah, that's a redevelopment agency.
One's RDA, one's city council.
One's RDA, one's city.
So they're different entities.
Okay, so the resolution is still the same number?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good catch, though.
Just want to make sure I'm passing the right thing. Okay. Good evening, members of the City Council and Mark and absentee mayor. My name is Christy McBride, again, Ogden City Events and Arts. The Ogden City Arts Advisory Committee reviewed the 2014-15 Ogden City Arts grants and presented the recommendations to the City Council for review. The City Council held a work session to ask questions, discuss the grants and recommendations. Based on that work session and discussions and suggestions from the City Council, a final recommendation from the Ogden City Arts Committee was submitted. Ogden City Arts staff and Ogden City Arts Committee recommend that the City Council adopt Resolution 2015-3 to award the arts grants funding for fiscal year 14-15. We want to thank the Arts Committee and the subcommittees for their hard work in reviewing the grants. It's not an easy job. And we also want to thank our grantees. There's many of you here tonight that'll have your opportunity to say thank you. And we want to recognize the great arts organizations and the quality programming that you guys all offer to us. So thank you. And I'd like to also thank our new arts coordinator who's just coming aboard, and that's Diane Stern. So she's here tonight.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay.
Hey, this is a public hearing, so if you have anything you'd like to comment about with regards to this proposal, now would be your opportunity.
Good evening, Chairman Heyer and council members. On behalf of Eccles Community Arts Center, I'm the Executive Director, Pat Posey, and it's a pleasure again to be here with you, and thank you for the money that you do grant us each year. It's wonderful to be able to have those funds to continue our programs and our projects. We have many, many new things going on, and we invite you to come and see our facility, what we've done to it, and how what we do with, where we put your money and where it's going into the city, so we can give back to the city what you're giving to us. And I'd also like to thank Christy and Diane for the good work they do for the Arts Council, because without them, we wouldn't be here. And thank you. We appreciate you and invite you to come and join us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Sharon McFarland from the Ogden Symphony Ballet Association. It's always a good thing to be here in front of you, and thank you for the grant that you've given us. We're almost at the end of our current season. Then we'll be starting again in the fall, so we kind of overlap what you do. But we're grateful to have your funding and have some great programs coming for next year. So thank you so much. We have 18 performances each year and ready to get going again. I have a couple of my board members here, Stephanie Moore and Jeanette Bidoff. And also, I would like to thank the board, the committee, and of course all of you. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Imagine Ballet Theater would like to thank Ogden City Arts and the City Council for their continued support for our programming. We would like to invite you all to come and see us perform as Mary in the Secret Garden.
Hi, my name is Sonia Krasnowski, and I'll be performing on Friday on April 17th at 7:30 p.m.
Hi, my name is Ariana Imani, and I'll be performing on Saturday, April 18th at 2:00 p.m.
My name is Alexandra Winkler, and I will be performing on Saturday at April 18th at 7:30 p.m.
Please join us for this classic tale.
Thank you, young ladies. Very good.
I will happily follow that lovely thank you. And thank you for allowing me to be here tonight. My name is Alicia Washington, and I am the founder and artistic director for Good Company Theater, located on 25th Street. I am so honored to be here in your company and honored to be with fellow arts administrators and with Diane and Christy as well, so thank you. 3 years. 3 years we've been, Good Company Theater has been receiving this monumental funding to getting our feet off the ground. And that's big thanks to the city for offering a developmental grant. You don't get a lot of opportunities to start, I guess, with cold feet and work your way into it, and to be able to approach the city and ask for funding to get a theater company started. And with that funding, we've been able to afford our performance rights, which can vary from $800 to $1,100 per production. We run for 3 weeks, Thursdays through Sundays. And with that aid, we've been able to be in full productions for the last 3 years. We do 5 main stage productions, and we also do 4 cabaret shows each year, so we're in production about 9 months out of the years, and the support from the city is monumental in order to do that. We have great connections with theater companies in Salt Lake, where they're bringing shows up to our facility now. We also have 2 to 4 original works that we do every year. So it has been outstanding to be a part and to be able to grow with this developmental grant, and now be in a place to put in our bid for the general support. So it's been a seed that has just blossomed in Ogden, and I cannot be more thankful. So thank you.
Thank you.
And Good Company is a great theater. I love their shows. My name is Michael Palumbo. I'm the music director and conductor of Chamber Orchestra Ogden. On behalf of the board and the orchestra members, I would like to thank you for your continued support. The grant that you provide helps us keep our ticket prices low and encourages people who might not otherwise be able to afford to attend an orchestra concert to participate with us and maybe hear a little bit different music. It's highly appreciated what you do, not just for us, but for everybody else. Thanks to Christy and Diane. Appreciate your work and making things roll along. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Wes Whitby, and it is my wonderful job to coordinate the arts education and programs at Treehouse Museum. It's likewise my pleasure to represent Treehouse Museum staff and volunteers, including our volunteer board of trustees, in thanking Ogden for your support of arts education and programming at the museum. Mostly, I come representing the over 156,000 people that visited Ogden and our museum this past year, each of whom was afforded the opportunity of participating in daily visual arts programs in our art garden, in arts projects spread throughout the museum and in each of our exhibit galleries, and in the daily theater and storytelling programs provided at the museum. 26,000 of those visitors each year are children who come to visit our school tour education program. Each tour is designed with an art project, a storytelling activity in one of our colorful exhibits, and a theater activity in which children participate in grade level appropriate arts programming. Just this morning, for example, we had a blast with a group of 100 second graders as they visited the museum on a fairy tale tour. With their individual classes, each child gets to visit our One World Village and hear stories, and visit our art garden where they get to make magic wands as long as they promise not to turn anyone into frogs. They get to use their imagination to create a little piece of fairy tale art to take home with them. And as a theater alum from Weber State, I'll admit some bias, but my favorite part of the tour is always the improvisational theater programming. And today, the second graders and I got to tell the story of Puss in Boots, the real version, not the DreamWorks. We also never know what the kids are going to do on the stage. They honestly, neither do they, until it's happening right in front of us, all of us participating in creating this art. Just this last November, Lynn Goodwin, the museum's executive director, and Sylvia Kobabe, the chair of our volunteer board, accepted an award from Utah State Head Start organization. And just last week, Lynn and Sylvia and a couple of our board members were invited to Washington, D.C. to accept the national version of that award on behalf of Treehouse Museum and really on Ogden's behalf. We received the Sergeant Shriver Excellence in Community Service Award from the National Head Start organization, an award given to a nonprofit like Treehouse Museum every year, though we are by far one of the smallest organizations that have ever received it. They especially commended us for our efforts in providing sponsored memberships to local Head Start families, and particularly as those families are provided opportunities for exposure to art, literature, and theater for children. Ladies and gentlemen, our efforts are only possible through the community encouragement we receive here in Ogden. And again, we received over 156,000 visitors to Treehouse last year. If our numbers continue this year, we'll exceed that by thousands. On behalf of each and every one of those young artists, we thank you for your support.
Thank you.
Hello, Ogden City Council. My name is Michelle Tanner, and I'm the Executive Director of Ogden Friends of Acoustic Music, OFOM. And I would just like to say, on behalf of our other board members, Reba Nissen, Brian Smith, Kara Twitchell, thank you so much for providing funding to support our all-volunteer organization who we're very passionate about live music and bringing it here to our community. And we have a real drive to have the youth of the community experience hands-on musical experiences, and we have petting zoos and the drum bus that comes. And this year we're going to we've got some junior high students in a choir working with us for our outreach event, because we know that kids with music in their lives do better in all walks of life. And it's very entertaining for adults too. So we have 4 big events this summer, starting out with our Ogden Music Festival at Fort Buenaventura, May 29th through 31st. And the day after that, June 1st, we have free to the public at the amphitheater, Shook Twins with some students from North Ogden Junior High Choir and the Todd's Musical Petting Zoo. We're excited to present on August 8th at the Egyptian Theater, a free to the public show with legendary blues artist Janova Magnus. She'll be a keynote speaker at the Utah Youth Summit Conference at Weber State prior to the free concert, and we're presenting her in conjunction with the Division of Child and Family Services, specifically Christmas Box International, for this free show. And we're hoping that foster kid youth from the foster youth will come and be part of that. And then our Roots of Blues Festival in North Fork Park. And again, kids are free, 16 and under, to all our events. And thanks to help and support from grants like you and RAMP and George S. and Dolores Dory Eccles Foundation, we can keep our ticket costs low for our public events. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good evening, members of the City Council. My name is Mary McKinley. I'm the Executive Director of the Ogden Nature Center. Just want to say thank you very much for your support of the arts in Ogden. It really makes a better community for us all. The grant provided the Nature Center this year in support of our Earth Day celebration will be put to great use. We have an event, really a day full of activities planned, live music, a dance performance, hands-on arts activities, among other things, and a really great poster contest. So we appreciate it very much. Thanks for all you do. And thank you to the Ogden City Arts Council, too. Thanks.
Good evening. My name's Mike Fenton. I'm the vice president this year of the Egyptian Theater Foundation, and I wanted to just take this moment to thank you guys, and we appreciate the grant which we've been awarded. I don't think we have to tell you that the facility gets used quite a bit. There's a lot of demand for that facility, and despite it being renovated, it's almost 20 years old, and the equipment and so forth, the facility has been well used and needs renovations and continues to need things. So this grant will come at has come at a great time for us because the demands have been brought to us, and there's lots that we need to do over there. So again, I want to thank you and everyone for this grant. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? I'll look for a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Okay, I have a motion by Councilmember Garner, seconded by Councilmember Blair. To close the public hearing. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
And I'll go ahead and make a motion to adopt the proposed resolution 2015-3.
I second it.
We have a motion by Councilmember Gochner, seconded by Councilmember Stevens, to adopt the fiscal year, or 2014, let's see, I'm in the wrong place, 2015-3. And this is a roll call vote.
Councilmember Gochner?
Aye.
Councilmember Stevens?
Aye.
Councilmember Wicks? Councilmember Blair?
Aye.
Councilmember Garner?
Aye.
Vice Chair White?
Aye.
Chair Heyer?
Aye.
I just had one question, too, with this. The original transmittal was dated December 31st, 2014, and it says it was received by the City Council office on February 17th. I guess, what happened to
those
it?
2 months?
Yeah, what happened to those 2 months?
Well, we did have a work session, and there were some changes that the council wanted to see, and just the process to get it back and to get a new recommendation back to the council and get it.
But it's the original transmittal, not
December to February.
It says the transmittals. The date of the memo is December 31st, 2014, and the stamp on it says received in the City Council office on February 17th.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to answer that. That would be before we got it.
Okay, if we look into that.
Yeah, it's frustrating where you have entities that are kind of depending on funding, and that's a pretty decent stretch of time to have something in limbo.
Okay, we will look into that.
And before you guys all leave, I just want to say thank you for all the vibrancy and energy that you add to our community and make it such a great place to live. And thank you for coming tonight.
And just another part, almost every single one of you, and I know this is very important, but you mentioned children that are receiving such a benefit from the education that you provide them. And we all know the value of teaching children early, the appreciation of art. And so again, thank you for all that you do, and keep going and doing good work.
And our thanks should go out to Christy McBride and our Arts Council for assisting with this project. And you know, we don't know the many hours and the hard work that it goes into performing the arts in this community, but the pay is when you're successful and you can see the achievements that are happening. And I believe that you produce a quality of life for our community, and we're a better community because of the arts that we have here, and the standards are higher because of the arts, and so I appreciate the work that you do.
Well, and some of the grantees are here. They're not good at tooting their own horns, but Earth Day is this Saturday, which we helped with the art contest for that at the Nature Center. Chamber Orchestra Ogden, I know, has a concert on May 2nd that's classically pops. It's a family concert. Children are welcome to attend, and so anyway.
Symphony's got one coming up.
There's some stuff. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff going on, so.
And I'll just echo to thank you all for all the work you've done to make our community a nice, livable, exciting community to be in. Thank you again. Okay, next item on our agenda is public comments. This is an opportunity to address the council regarding your concerns or ideas. Please state your name and address for the record and limit your comments to 3 minutes. Hey, doesn't look like anybody's coming this way.
They're all going the opposite direction.
Okay, comments from the administration?
Yeah.
Sure.
He's famous.
I always appreciate giving autographs. Happens so often. I just wanted to let you know that Mayor Caldwell sent me an email this morning from Amsterdam. The weekend did about a 70-mile cycling race in Paris, and then he and his wife ran in the Paris Marathon. Well, without training. So he said in his email to me this morning that possibly could be one of the dumbest things he's done, because he was really hurt. But they're having fun, I think, over there and enjoying a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. So,
thank you. Comments from council members?
I wanted to follow up. Just I think it's great that the art grantees were in here, but I really believe that it adds to the diversity of our community, and we need to continue to look towards hopefully funding this kind of grant in the future.
Wonderful variety. So it's grateful that we're really blessed to have them here.
Something for everyone. All right. The next item is consideration of adjourning into a closed executive session. Mr. Williams.
Mr. Chair, a closed session is permissible for the purposes set forth in the agenda.
Okay, I'll look for a motion.
With that, I will go ahead and make a motion that we adjourn into a closed executive session.
I'll second it.
I have a motion by Councilmember Blair, seconded by Councilmember Wicks to move into a closed executive session. This is a roll call vote.
Councilmember Stevens?
Aye.
Councilmember Wicks?
Aye.
Councilmember Blair?
Aye.
Councilmember Garner?
Aye.
Councilmember Gochner?
Aye.
Vice Chair White?
Aye.
Chair Heyer?
Aye. That passes and is unanimous. We will adjourn from the other room, and tonight there will be no work session.